Hello everybody. This video is going to be mostly for people who have expressed an interest in buying a CRACE from me. This is basically the state of my CRACE 2 redesign. Thank you to the people who have been contacting me and stuff, keeping me on my toes. I'm sorry that it's taken so long. Like everything else, it's taken longer than I anticipated, but hopefully it'll be worth the wait. So I figured this video here would be kind of more convincing, more entertaining than me just saying like, hey, I'm working on it. It's like cool now. So here it is. I mailed this box just the day before yesterday on Monday. And the lens shroud, which is a separate piece now, I mailed, I think it was last week sometime. So, what's different? I guess the biggest difference is this port on the side here. The idea for this is that I think it'd be really cool if you could plug in the power cable and the video cable. Plug those cables into the camera in the enclosure and maintain the coolant resistance of the enclosure. My thinking is you could have your camera basically permanently mounted in your machine, run a monitor outside your machine, and basically get a clear view of what the machine's doing all the time. I think that could be really handy. I haven't fleshed this out entirely yet, but at least there's now a convenient, regularly sized porthole that should make plugging cables in and maintaining coolant resistance possible. Also, this doesn't change the design of the enclosure too much for anyone who isn't interested in having wires connected. Another thing that I've changed is the air inlet method. So before I had like a push to connect fitting. It was okay, but this is definitely better. I found out about these from a commenter on, or maybe a couple commenters, I'm not entirely sure, on a Grimsmo video. These are CPC quick disconnect fittings, and I bought them on McMaster Car. So, thank you to those people, or to that person. I really appreciate it. I haven't actually plugged air into one of these yet, but it looks pretty simple, looks pretty cool. So, I trust that they'll be good. So, how quick is it to connect the air? Yes. Plug it in like that, and it's locked in. Disconnect, just hit the button in the front here, and pull it out. Pretty awesome. So that is a drastic improvement over the last one. Also, this particular fitting, some do, some don't. This one's got a plunger on the front, and the plunger blocks the air when it's disconnected. So you don't need a valve or anything to turn the air on and off. You just have the air coming up to this, and it will only flow when actually plugged into the enclosure. Pretty cool. This particular connector is made of Delrin, and I mostly chose this one because I figured Delrin will be a little more gentle on the aluminum, and it's also very coolant resistant. Lock line, as far as I could tell, is made of acetal. Obviously, that is very resistant to coolant, so I don't anticipate any trouble with coolant in these connectors. But they do make metal ones as well, so I guess if a problem arises, at least there's a fallback from metal. So that's pretty darn cool. Also, although it has not been proven out, with a button redesign that I've got in the works, it should be a lot easier to get the camera in and out of the enclosure. Before, you had to sort of squeeze, just like I left, I think, 1 millimeter sticking out of the enclosure. So you only had 1 millimeter to grab onto. Now, there's this pocket on the bottom. You can just stick your thumb in there, kind of tilt the camera up, and pull it out like that. A lot more convenient. And I mentioned the button redesign. Basically, the button will have to sit flush with this wall here and this wall here in order for, that tilt to work. But as long as that can be made to happen on the buttons, I think I'm good to go there. Pretty cool. What else we got on here? Oh, the tripod mount's a little better. Before it was stuck about here, and it was fine, but this is slightly better now, and it's still in line with the lens and stuff. So that's the major differences. I guess I should mention that it's a little taller now. It's about a 1/4 inch taller. It's also a little longer, roughly 5 millimeters longer. But I suspect most people won't care about that. Anyway, so there it is. So hopefully, for anyone who was interested in buying one of these, this will give you some renewed optimism. It it is being improved, and I truly hope to have something available for sale very soon. Cool. Alrighty, thanks. Talk to you all later.